That was the summer I also fell in love. I fell in love with building healthy systems, and even more excited to transform unhealthy ones. It has now become my work and my company, created with many who share those values. In all of our projects, we make it our mission to invite in more. More ideas, more people, more experiments, more difference, more time for discussion, more stories. What we never fail to find in the more is that we already have everything we need to create and drive meaningful changes. And meaningful changes is what I now call innovation. We just need to widen the circle and allow more in. We need to help the word collaboration not be so empty in its practice. And why haven't we done this already? What is the impact of not being able to collaborate? What does it guarantee we cannot see? What is the consequence we can't so easily measure, but I would bet we all feel? All of us in here knows what it feels like to not be allowed to share your ideas, to not be allowed to offer, even suggest solutions, or not be allowed to name the huge gaps in our organizations, although the impact is harmful on a personal level in many ways. Of course, contributes to the larger level too then. I see this restriction to collaborate everywhere. Sometimes I call it this collective oppression, and it is beyond the attitudes of our leaders. It is embedded in the structures of the way we work and live. I see it in our ego-driven and accidentally habitual meetings, and in classrooms where only one person talks for an entire hour. I see it in our version of conferences that are still controlled by panel discussions. I see it in outdated hierarchies. It's everywhere, and we are the ones responsible for not changing that. Everywhere I turn, people seem to have to earn the right to add more things to what's happening in their own life. It's suffocating the spaces between us, and it's also suffocating our potential to transform the systems we are all a part of. So how do we begin to shift? How do we move into liberation? Through our projects, we know that it is about having the skills to cultivate the conditions that must exist in us, that must exist for innovation to have a chance to breathe. So this is what we came up with. These are the conditions that must exist. And although it looks simple, it's a bit hard, so get practicing. We start with actually listening. We're failing at this. We all know that. We are inserting our opinions or selecting what we want to hear before people even finish, right after they start, in fact. Don't think when another person is talking to you. Actually listen to their perspective. You don't have to keep it your whole life. Honestly share. We only share honestly when we think we are actually going to be listened to. And so we must share honestly how we feel. When we share honestly, then we can work in reality. We can create from what's real and not from what's constructed or what should have been said. Radical responsibility means we have to put down blame and look at our actions that we take every day in either redesigning or reinforcing these systems. Doing nothing at all is also an action that reinforces. Don't blame the system. We are the system. Radical collaboration would ask us to seek out different views on purpose. Let people poke holes in our ideas so that they will last. When we have radical collaboration, you will find so much more there than you know. You'll find connection, you'll find value, you'll find resources, and yes, you'll also find joy.